how do you integrate artificial intelligence or machine learning into effectively their DevOps, for example, right? How do you effectively make the coordination mechanism within the development cycle a lot more effective and efficient, so that you're not necessarily reliant on subpar talent, but that that you can effectively hire less, hire better, and generally build out faster with a lot more efficiency and margin of error in place as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think you could simplify it a little bit by saying, again, I think the two vectors to look at when it comes to all of these countries is the distribution element. And the point there, I think that is really important to understand is it's clearly like in any market, you spend, you get users, right? Our experiences or our observation is that in all the areas, and the point is the market opportunities are just clear. I mean, you don't need a pitch deck to say efficient lending should be done on scale. Okay, it's very obvious. I get it. The point is how are you going about doing that? And it's all I think a lot of it is about understanding distribution and truly your playbook as it relates to distribution, and assume you are running it as if you're running a dashboard. You just it needs to be a seamless machine. You need to be able to kind of understand it inside out. So distribution is one vector. The other one is basically this old age concept of kind of bundling versus unbundling. The point being that if you look at a lot of the countries, and I don't think Pakistan is an exception, the average individual or company has to engage with a lot of different providers for different products. Right? There isn't kind of a consolidated player that can provide a broad range of services and products. And the reason distribution is important is that it allows you to build products at a much lower cost because you can distribute and extract more revenue from that distribution base that you have that no other company has. So I simply see it as, I know what the market, you could be doing lending, you could be doing commerce in any particular different vertical. But what is your vector of attack for building distribution? To what extent do you truly understand the nature of the cohorts of the general population? And that's really what we're talking about here, because when you think about distribution, it's basically, especially in emerging markets, it's like a man walking blind. And you only realize the reality of what the population is until you touch it. Right? But you need to be very systematic about how are you understanding the reality of what the general population of the country is in terms of average spend, credit data, all of this stuff. And this links to AI and remind me to come back to it. To really build out distribution in a way that no one else can. And the benchmark is not that high to do it because there are not a long list of companies that are thinking in this way. Okay. Now, clearly, that distribution has to be built off a product that has a real use case. And that is not a business that has 3 or 4 different products. It's one product, one real use case that is absolutely solving for, and it's solving for it very, very well. The pain point has to be real, right? And it has to do it more efficiently than anyone else does. Okay. To earn the right for that distribution. Okay. The economic model of that product has to also be positive. I.e., there is no point burning a lot of money for a long period of time. You don't need to do it because you don't have an intensity of competition. So be very deliberate and patient about how you're executing it. And then understand how you can build more products on top of your distribution, because hopefully you have very high engagement, you have in a way that no other kind of distribution base in that country does. And that if you run that playbook quite well, that's kind of just already a very sizable business.